The new Modus Super Series champion.
Oh my word!
It's another incredible moment tonight.
Jeff Smith.
It's match down.
5-star performance.
Goal for Big Fish.
It's
Jack Drayton!
Another one of them, and you know what? There's a bit of room. There's a bit of room at the end. Gets it. Double 16 for the champagne finish.
Graham Hall.
Treble 18 now for the bullseye. Oh, and he smacked it right in the middle. Takes the match. He snatched his last start, didn't he? Treble 18's the target for double 16. And there he finds it. Punishes the miss.
May not matter anyway. 60, 20, tops.
Game shot on the third leg.
Finally, Spivey. We come from those early weeks. I was playing with Barney and Phil Taylor. This is going good. Oh, that's Taylor-like. Taylor-esque from Dean Finn.
You are in exactly the right place because this Group B is going to be special. We're going to be in for a treat tonight, mark my words. Welcome along, or welcome back if you are with us this afternoon to the Modus Super Series here live on Pluto TV. This Group B has all the hallmarks of an absolute classic. The number one player on the Challenge Tour is here this evening, and so is Paul Nicholson, who has finished cleaning up from earlier and is back for more tonight. Nico, the debate rumbles on about who is the best player without a tour card, especially after Derek Coulson's exploits last week. But the one man that is above him in the Challenge Tour is here tonight.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to Joe Hunt coming back. I know that he started really slowly the last time he was here, but he was able to improve as the week went on. This time, very short course. He doesn't start on Monday morning. He starts on Thursday night. And I think you and I both agree that this suits him, because after Pro Tour action this week, he's going to be warmed up and he's going to have a tilt at a first weekly title.
Before we look ahead, though, let's just briefly look back at what we saw this afternoon in Group C. And it became pretty apparent that Oliver King and Alex Moore were on a collision course. In their final matches, both coming into it with unblemished records, Oliver King held his nerve in a last leg decider for a perfect 10 points on day one. He was good value, King.
Yeah, he was really good from the start, but then the challenges were different as the day went on. We noticed that when he went behind, 2-1, 3-1 down, he was able to find his best starts towards the end of matches, and that's why he was able to get that match with Alex Small in round number 5 this afternoon to make sure he had the chance of 5 wins out of 5. Their game in match 2 tomorrow at around about 1 in the afternoon. That's going to be really interesting to see who wins that, because that could signify what kind of race we have.
Yeah, they're all stacked in neat little rows in that points tally, aren't they? And Bradley O'Connor, what a resurgence he has had after a nightmare experience in Group A, which was won by Ryan Branley, as we can see on that graphic. Group C is for tomorrow afternoon. Graham Hall and Dylan Slevin dropped down from Group A into Group B tonight alongside Dean Finn, former weekly winner, Sam Spivey, former weekly winner and former series runner-up back in Series 10. And as we mentioned, Joe Hunt ranked number 1 on the Challenge Tour. And I agree, Nico. I think the last time he was here, didn't really enjoy the early mornings. Obviously, he was still new to things. However, he was in a week that was won eventually by the series champion, so it's hardly bad form.
Not at all, not at all. He was one of the best players in one of the strongest weeks we've assembled here this year. And off the back of Coulson having that history recording week in the previous week, he will want to say, you know what, you've done your bit here. I know this might be your house of sorts, but this is my area. He's from the Isle of Wight, just over the Solent. So he'll want to make an impression here while he can, because let's face it, he might not have many opportunities.
No, barring an absolute nightmare second half of the year, he's going to be on the tour next year, and maybe Coulson will join him.
Yeah, we look at those two players and we think they've got the qualities that could bypass Q School, and they could have a really interesting few months ahead before the 2027 season starts, because they could be going to Alexandra Palace and earning a lot of money at the Palace, like other players have done without a tour card in the past. So if you want to be successful in this scenario, in relation to Coulson, he wants that series title before he goes to the tour potentially. As for Joe Hunt, you'd have to ask him.
So you would think all signs point to Joe Hunt being favourite to win Group B. However, it's Graham Hall that is the 9-4. Jolly Dylan Slevin in there at 3-1. Joe Hunt separating those two at 5-2. Sam Spivey 7-2. Dean Finn 12-1 outsider at 5. That's quite a big price.
It is a big price for someone who's won a week and has been to a previous weekly final the series before that. So this has been good stuff from Dean over the course of the last 12 months in this building. But he's been put in a Group B that is really, really difficult. Maybe the most difficult group that he's ever been put in his career here in this place. So to see him the outsider, maybe not a surprise, but at 12-1, that is a big price.
We've been looking forward to this group all week, so let's get on with it. And we start with an absolute cracker. The favourite against the second favourite for the group, Messrs Hall and Hunt. And earlier on this evening, I caught up with Joe Hunt. Joe Hunt, welcome back to the Modus Super Series. Good to be back.
Yeah, I can't wait to get going. It's I've been waiting for this for a long time again, so yeah, I'm ready to go.
Normally, the players coming into Group B more often than not coming in fresh, but not you. Busy on the Pro Tour this week, so is there a bit of fatigue, or are you still ready to rock and roll?
No, I'm ready to go. My arm feels good. My son Jensen's been keeping me going at home with practice, and yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. Just want to make Saturday, and hopefully, yeah, my mum's booked her boat already from the Isle of Wight, so there's no pressure there.
Yeah, you brought a good crowd with you last time you were here, but that was a very tricky week indeed. Doesn't exactly get any easier for you here tonight and tomorrow night in Group B. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, it helps focus me, so I'm looking forward to it to sort of get stuck in, and I know no game's going to be easy, so it really helps for my own game to focus and play some good darts and just enjoy it while I'm up there.
Can't get away from the fact you are having an absolutely spectacular year. You must be full of confidence. I know exactly earlier in the week that it didn't go exactly to plan, but nevertheless, the year as a whole, you couldn't have hoped for much better.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say to everyone that asks me, you've got to have a bit of luck. This week wasn't my turn to have the luck, but I still played well. I was happy with my performances. I felt loose and good. So coming into here, confidence is still high. I'm never one to sort of be overconfident because I know how different darts can change to each day. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back up there and enjoying myself.
Well, I wish you the very best of luck. Thank you for talking to me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Great guy, having a great year. Joe Hunt. Top of the Challenge Tour order of merit. Looks at home on the Pro Tour. And time is running out for him to not just win a series, just to win a week. Came close, as we referenced in the intro of the show. The week he was in produced the series champion. The 33-year-old from just over the water in the Isle of Wight, travelling straight down from Wigan after his Pro Tour exploits earlier on in the week, taking on Graham Hall, who won his week after winning his Group A in week 5 of the previous series. Champions Week, though, didn't really go Graham's way. Just never really looked settled, and we didn't really see Graham Hall's best stuff. His best stuff has been on the ADC of late. Paul Hinks keeping a keen eye on proceedings throughout tonight.
Through first.
But we start
Game on.
with arguably the best player without a tour card.
One of them, 40.
Do you want to go there immediately? You got to take your bias away, Mr. Mulliner. You are good pals with Derek Coulson, so I know you might think
62.
that Derek has got that tag around his neck. But I'm going to stick with my opinion,
100.
which was stated here in week number 5. We had this chat with a few of our colleagues here, and I said Coulson is the best because of what he's done here, what he did with seniors,
36.
maybe not what he's done on the Pro Tour, but I think the mix gives him the tag, and I think yesterday was just the exclamation mark.
140.
And I think that in itself gives him the tag, but I think it also gives motivation to Joe Hunt
60.
to say,
Joe
what about me?
21.
Straight to a finish after just 9 darts thrown. And this
81.
debate is really just for us viewing public. I don't think the players care one bit.
They really don't. They really don't. Having said that, 2 years ago, there was a really vociferous debate about
80.
who was the best without a tour card. And when we mentioned certain names, there were people who took umbrage when we didn't mention theirs. Well, Joe started with a 13 darter, so
Second
yeah,
Graham
okay.
through first. Game on.
Business as usual.
Absolutely. I'll play devil's advocate against, like you say, my good pal, and I'm running the risk of getting a torrent of abuse from the Market Drayton
100.
area. But what can't speak can't lie. An order of merits and prize money this year dictate
95.
that this guy is the best.
Yeah, 3 quarterfinals on the Pro Tour as well. There are many tour card holders who do not have that kind of consistency right now.
100.
No real favourable draws. We touched upon Kim Hybrick's late surge for a place at the match play. Joe Hunt put pay to that in Milton Keynes not too long ago. Joe Hunt has defeated an informed Jeffrey de Graaf. A win over Jan van Veen, before you correct me.
100.
This is solid form.
96.
Yeah, there was a quarter-final back in April as well where he lost to Luke Woodhouse, but before that, he beat Stephen Bunting and Josh Rock back-to-back.
Back-to-back wins against Premier League players.
59.
I think many people on the Pro Tour
100. Graham McCarr,
have said
42.
we didn't even know who he was 12 months ago. Now, we don't want to play him. Let's see if he can take out this
55.
10+ finish
Joe
for
McCarr,
a 2-0 lead.
110.
He started with a 13 darter. Can he back it up?
No score.
No, he
Graham McCarr,
can't.
87.
What a slip that is.
He's just gobbling up these trebles for fun this year. This is a real gift for Hall if he can convert.
Each
Oh,
on the
he
second leg, Graham
can.
Hall.
You don't want to be giving the G-Man too many opportunities.
Third leg, Jody through first.
They can
Game
chuckle
on.
about it now, but Hunt, that will hurt.
I think it depends on the person
60.
as to how they handle something like that. You get the feeling from the facial expressions of Joe that it won't disrupt him too much. Water off a duck's back,
100.
you could say.
Make a little point as well, as we are discussing Joe Hunt and Derek Coulson.
140.
It was Derek's birthday yesterday, and of course, both Derek and Joe were playing on the Pro Tour. One player bought Derek a birthday card.
58.
It was Joe Hunt.
I think that tells you everything you need to know.
100.
Joe and his lovely partner showed the rest of us up on Derek's table. It goes to show this debate really is just for us
26.
viewing public. The players are really not bothered.
They really aren't. They've got singular goals. Making Ali Pally.
139.
Getting a tour card. Winning as much money as possible. And now, if you can understand what is a very good amount of money
135. Joey Carr,
for someone who's
62.
not classified as a pro, just put a number in your mind, if you please, because I have a bit of evidence to suggest something else.
30.
January the 4th is the first day of the new season, the day after the World Championship final. At that point, what does Joe Hunt
81.
think he
Joker
can earn
32.
in 2026?
Game shot on the third leg.
16 darter gives him a 2-1 lead.
Fourth leg, Graham to throw first. Game on.
You got any guesses?
Well, I have a distinct idea, but I will
40.
allow you to educate us as Hall has found a Robin Hood.
From floor tournaments on
95.
the Pro Tour and the Challenge Tour combined, we are talking about just shy of 50,000
100.
for a player that does not have a tour card. He's not a pro. He's an amateur player.
100.
Someone's been riding through the glen again. Robin Hood, Robin Hood.
100.
In what other hobby can you make nearly 50 grand in 6 months? So if he replicates
58.
what he's done in the first 6 months of 2026, that will be 100 grand for a hobby.
It's life-changing.
For some people, that would pay off their mortgage.
140.
Now, just imagine over the next month and a bit, if he wins this week
135. Graham McCart,
and wins Champions Week,
121.
that's another 30.
Look at this. From Graham Hall, bullseye.
96. Joey Carr, 113.
Fantastic way to start proceedings tonight. It's not off, but it is now. And Hall
53. Graham McCart, 25.
kept plugging away. Can bring himself level with 2 8s.
17.
There could be trouble now.
Joey Carr,
Hunt
60.
staring at tops. Oh, so
40.
close on both tops and
Graham
tens.
McCart, 8.
Close calls for both. But only one might get the second call.
No
Oh,
score.
no, not the
Joey
first
Carr,
time we've
20.
seen that today. But that could be costly. And you can tell the G-Man is not a happy bunny.
10. Graham McCart, 8.
Well, you didn't expect this from these two, did you? An average killer of a
Game shot on the
leg.
fourth leg, Graham Hall.
Hall won't mind too much because he has won
Fifth
it.
leg, Jody through
and things
first.
are level.
Game on.
Sometimes you just got to dust yourself off. Take a leg
100.
in 22 darts and move on. Never look a gift horse in the mouth. Just crack on.
177.
Just like that. We have not had a maximum in this game, but we've had something very close to it now.
96.
Don't underestimate Hall. Again, one of the finest players in the amateur circuit.
140.
Is prolific in the
85.
ADCs. The vaults and tour winner of last year as well, of course.
Some people really do suit that system.
136.
When Graham was on tour for a couple of years, he wasn't really doing what Joe's been doing over the last 6 months.
125. Glenn McCall, 48.
But at this level, you're right. He is a behemoth.
He can get a crucial break of throw here. One in hand at double
He's
16
on the
now.
fifth leg,
And
Graham
he is
Hall.
not found wanting. Crucial break.
Six leg, Graham to throw first.
Graham
Game
Hall
on.
is showing us why he is the favourite to win Group B, not Joe Hunt.
And he's leading with an inferior average by about 7 points.
81.
think one of the
85.
first things that came to prominence when Joe Hunt was winning Challenge Tour events this season was his action. It's a dart that balances in his fingertips, and his control
45.
of that dart with very little pressure is very impressive.
$26.
I was trying to survey all of my memory bank, thinking of anybody who might have thrown a dart like him. And the closest I came to was Scott Waits.
121.
I don't think of anybody in my memory bank is exactly like Joe Hunt. It's a very individual action.
45.
Yeah, certainly very unique. This match, of course, will be the final match of Group B come tomorrow night. I used to say
40.
it could prove to be crucial for someone.
Yeah, I think both players would admit that they'd like to be through before that game takes place.
58.
Otherwise, someone's going to have a very stressful Saturday morning.
$40.
There is that just a minuscule slip from Hall that just gives Hunt a reprieve, but he hasn't been able to take advantage.
83.
Not enough at this stage.
6 darts from 174 to get this match won would be a brilliant start for Hall.
98.
He has to wait until game 4 for his second match, and that is against Sam Spivey, who plays next against Dylan Slevin. So we go
60.
from Hall
Graham, your car,
and Hunt
76.
to Spivey and Slevin. But when?
Just going to get one. One match dart,
Game show
and
the
that
match,
is
Graham
all Graham Hall needed. It's the G-Man that draws first blood and has shown exactly why he is favourite to win this ultra-competitive Group B. Getting the better of Joe Hunt, the best player on the Challenge Tour this year. It's a big win. It's a 4-2 win. It's Spivey Slevin after the break. Welcome back. Graham Hall laying down an early marker before the break in a 4-2 win over Joe Hunt, who is really hotly fancied to take the win, not just over the course of the next 2 nights here in Group B, but arguably for the whole week. Now we see a meeting between Sam Spivey, former weekly winner, almost won the lot back in Series 10. The 30-year-old from Scarborough, the Southpaw, taking on Dylan Slevin, one of the players dropping down from Group A earlier in the week. Slevin now at the age of 23, semi-finalist way back when, before his exploits on the Pro Tour. It is a battle of the lefties here in match number 2. It'd be interesting to see what sort of form Spivey is in.
First leg, Sam to through first. Game on.
And it is Seaside Sam to get us underway.
60.
Yeah, nothing's changed with his game. It's pretty much copy and paste for Sam Spivey as he plays his usual
100.
somewhat temperate style of the game. Doesn't give much away. And when he retrieves his darts from the dartboard, that left hand goes straight in the pocket. All part of his process.
57.
And of course, this time he doesn't do it. Thank you, Sam. I'm just looking up where Dylan Slevin is from.
44.
A place called Boris O'Kane. I hope I said that right. I probably haven't. You couldn't ask for a place to be more central in a country. Can't say I've ever been to that part of Ireland, but that is
59.
right in the middle. A very talented player is Dylan. But when he was on the Pro Tour,
99.
he was always hovering around that 64 spot. So losing his tour privileges, it always felt quite inevitable that he was going to have to lose them
81.
to try and rediscover his confidence. He never really breached that top 50 in the world. If he's to do so,
140.
maybe a step back is going to do him some good.
Yeah, nothing wrong with 1 step back for 2 steps forward. Time is on the side of Slevin, and it would be no surprise at all to see him back
60. Dylan, your car,
on the tour
118.
in a year or 2. Started well.
He doesn't like the lie of that dot. Oh, he likes the lie of that one. My word, that's a good shot. He might not even go for this double 19. I think that's
86.
absolutely brilliant. He didn't really have to go for the 60, but when he got it, his first thought was, I don't have to go for this. I'd rather have 3 dots at 16s.
60. Dylan, your car, 32.
Showing really good composure.
Getting shown the first leg, Dylan
That's
Slevin.
why he did what he did, and maybe you could have given him
Second leg,
excuse for
Dylan to through
maybe
first. Game on.
going for the double 19. A mini surge of adrenaline, perhaps, finding that treble 20 from an impossible angle, but Slevin,
100.
expertly done.
I remember the first time that Slevin came here. He was green around the gills. We'd heard a lot about him. We thought maybe the reputation is going to be sound. He hit the ground running, and he was excellent that week. He didn't win the week, but he showed enough that week to show us what the fuss was about. And he talked with us at the start of that week about his,
92.
I'm going to say rivalry, in inverted commas, with Kieran Tian. They were calling themselves the 2 best amateur players in Ireland at the time. I think that's changed.
100.
But Tian's got 2 weekly titles. Slevin would like to get closer to that here this week. And if he is going to have a
94.
bounce back to the Pro Tour in the next few months, if that is his choice, I think he's got to do 2 things. One, he's got to rediscover some winning confidence. And secondly, he's got to get a new
97.
nickname because his is awful. It is one of the worst in the sport, and I'm not going to hide that fact because Ocean's Slevin is just grim.
65.
I think you'll find it's brilliant.
That's where you and I disagree then.
We've discussed nicknames before, and they are irrelevant. We've peaked as a species. It's Frosty the Throwman and everyone else.
That we will agree on.
58. Dylan Carr, 150.
I like Ocean Slevin. I think it's clever. That was almost very clever.
94.
This is strong stuff from Dylan. Spivey is just
56.
a little bit slow to get
Dylan
going.
Carr, 56.
Yeah, Slevin only missed out on Group A by 2 points.
Game shown in the second leg. Dylan
So let's
Slevin.
face it, someone who's won 11 games out of 15 so far this week is not playing badly.
Game on.
Seaside Sam, as he's known. We're not going to reference his other nickname, which will never see the light of day because it's awful as well. But imagine if Sam Spivey was French. You could call him Samuel à la plage.
58.
Obviously.
I do like the shirt, though. It's got Wayne Mardle vibes.
91.
Hasn't it? I've got a confession. I don't mind the other nickname either.
Spivey man.
Yeah, don't mind it. Actually, quite like it.
23.
Sam's not a big fan of it, though.
No, he's not. And I suppose that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah, so we will leave it alone.
And I think sometimes a
40.
dart shirt really does tell you a lot about a person's character. Because on the dart shirt of Sam Spivey, there aren't any people on that beach. There's dogs on the beach. I think that's a really nice
90.
touch.
Sam Carr, 130.
I'm a big fan of that shot. That is very underused.
48.
Hardly ever see it, like you say. For the first time, Slevin is trailing quite significantly.
125.
Not anymore.
Sam Carr, 82.
Now Spivey is susceptible. He has got to make this dart count.
42.
Just a bit too
Dylan
safe.
Carr, 105.
So if Slevin can roll the dice here, it could be 3-0. Tops.
65.
He does exactly the
Sam
same
Carr,
on tops.
40.
Equally as safe. This should be somewhat more aggressive. It's not.
Game shown the third leg.
But you
Sam
wouldn't call it a
Spivey.
marker. Nevertheless, Spivey has pinged the double at the
Fourth leg,
second
Dylan to throw
attempt.
first. Game on.
If I were to say to you, think of darts history
83.
with a left-hander against a left-hander, what game comes to mind? If you had to choose two left-handers to go up against each other in a
60.
legendary match, who would you be thinking of?
Well, the immediate one is James Wade.
54.
And who would you want him to play as a fellow left-hander in an all-time classic?
Yeah, I'd say Mark Webster.
57.
I'm sort of torn between Mark Webster and Les Wallace. Because Les Wallace won two things that
60.
James Wade hasn't. A World Masters and a World Championship.
And yet you would say Wade is the obvious one.
Of course. Now, before anybody ats me, I do know that James Wade won the
100.
PDC Masters, which is now the PDC World Masters. But when he won it, it was just the Masters. But there have been some great left-handers over the
100.
years. Another World Masters winner, Martin Phillips.
96.
Tremendous player. One of the best players never to have played here.
Slevin just
34.
a little bit stuck in the mud.
Yeah, he's not rolling sevens at the minute. He's more like snake eyes at this second in time. Spivey
58.
is not doing a great
170.
deal to put him under the biggest pressure. In fact, Spivey might even have to take out this 130 just to get level.
100. Samuel Carr, 130.
From the big fish then to the little fish. Can he put it in a cardboard box? Bullseye. Oh, brilliant.
Sam Spivey.
Spivey brings himself level,
Fifth leg,
reels
Sam to
in the
first.
little fish,
Game on.
breaks that throw back. He's in business now.
Sam is seriously impressive when it comes to not showing emotion.
100.
He's a fairly young man who plays in an old school way. In a world full of TikToks and people giving us peacockery, we have this left-hander from Yorkshire who just wants to play like he's in the era of Dave Whitcomb.
60.
And I like it. He plays like Dennis Priestley.
140.
Maybe not as slowly as Dennis once did. But this is why people like Sam. They like to watch him because he's precise.
100.
He's not quick. He's not slow. He's just aesthetically pleasing with great technique and really solid mentality.
57.
These numbers do not reflect what he's capable of. He has averaged well into three figures many times in this place. Give him a chance to warm up and you're going to pay the price.
85. Dylan Carr, 124.
He was slow to get going, wasn't he? And that is a huge contributing factor to that lowly average. But he is in this match. Make no
54.
mistake about it. He can get
Dylan Carr,
ahead
156.
with a big finish here. 130 in the previous leg. Looking at the 156. Won't go. But there's going to be
100.
a modicum of
Dylan
pressure
Carr,
applied.
70.
All of a sudden, after a hot start, this is a pressure shot for Dylan.
50.
And he could
Dylan
now
Carr,
find
56.
himself behind after taking a 2-0 lead.
Well, that is a rare slip. Has to burn a dart then, just the one. But that's all he needed. And that is where he is so good.
Six leg Dylan to throw first. Game
One
on.
dart in hand at a double. You can rely on Spivey.
The leg
58.
breakdown in this match is fascinating. Because we started with a 16 darter, and then Dylan Slevin had a 17 thereafter. The range of the completed legs
40.
is 2. Now, earlier on today, we were talking about something in Group C where the range of performance from worst to best was 10. This is really tight.
140.
Oh, wicked deflection. Spivey now has to chase.
97.
I am fascinated by what Slevin is doing here. He doesn't like that lie. He might just go for the single 19. The treble might be a gamble. Oh, my word. He's hit it pure. As much as they want to collide into other darts to nestle and have 3 wonderful shots on a pinhead, that was one of the best darts we've seen this week.
140. The other car 132.
Can he back it up with some champagne? No. However,
85.
he's still looking good to send us all the way.
First game had 6 legs.
47.
This one should have 7. 7 legs, and Dylan Slevin could still be in heaven.
So the final leg, Sam to throw first. Game on.
Slevin firing in the best leg of the match so far, forcing us to this last leg
85.
shootout. Spivey with a skin saver treble. How does Slevin respond?
100.
Gets one of his own.
I've seen a lot of that today, where people are completing a leg and shaking their heads in disdain.
60.
Very hard animals to please, you know, Sam. Dart players, they're tricky customers. But look at the difference in the averages.
60.
It's probably got something to do with the fact that the previous leg from Slevin was a 14 darter, which inflates his average quite a bit.
And 3 legs Dylan has won. Sam has been nowhere.
100.
That is why there is that gulf in the averages.
$60.
Trebleless again from Slevin. This is really now in Spivey's hands.
Who's going to be the most frustrated
100.
if they lose here?
Well, if it's Spivey, you wouldn't know.
Very true.
But again, it's a good mindset to
100.
have. Don't get too
Sally
high,
Carr,
don't get too
156.
low.
Yeah, peak heart rate about 89. Low heart rate about 88.
60.
Okay, so he's still vulnerable. He's going to get a shot to win 4-3. But here comes all the pressure. Treble 7 is a good shot.
135.
Treble 15 would have been decent as well, but here we go. The end is nigh.
Options. Attempted.
56.
Double.
W car
Now,
46.
off the back of that pressure shot from Slevin, it's his turn for a potential match-winning opportunity. It's double 10, and it's a win for Dylan Slevin. 2-0 up, 3-2 down, but he wins by 4 legs to 3 against Sam Spivey. And the numbers reflect and will tell you that the result is probably fair enough. The numbers, though, don't really tell the tale, not to mention a fantastic 130 from Spivey. But it's Dylan Slevin that opens up his Group B with a win. wins for Graham Hall and Dylan Slevin in the early stages of Group B. As we see our final competitor of the week, Dean Finn, former weekly winner, of course, which was right about his birthday at the time. 1 week 12 as well, so had to stick around for an extra week on the South Coast, which was back in Series 12, the 28-year-old. Taking on Joe Hunt, who is already on a bit of a recovery mission off the back of that defeat to Graham Hall. So again, it should be a good match, this. Hunt we know all about, and we know all about Dean Finn as well. He always seems to be there or thereabouts, whatever sort of week he's in, whatever sort of group he's in.
Game on.
Someone who's got a big following in Ireland. A lot of people believe in his talent. And if he makes Saturday night, there's going to be lots of people coming over to watch him.
50.
But if he's going to make another Saturday night, he's going to have to go through this group, which is torrid.
It is 12-1 outsider
100.
of 5, which I think is, dare I say, a little bit disrespectful to Dean.
We've already heard from Oliver King this afternoon that
95.
seeing himself as favourite was a confidence booster. But the odds really can
46.
motivate you in a different way. We've seen people stated as the outsider. I remember Thomas Banks seen as the outsider once, and he won the week, and he took umbrage to the fact that
45.
nobody fancied him, and he went up there and he beat Scott Mitchell, beat Conor Heenahan, and won the weekly title.
100.
Yeah, the players can see the graphic at the top of the show when it is put up on the screen, so they know
125.
just how the bookmakers view them.
If you were a player in the practice room, would you be watching that? Would you be bothered by
100.
I'd be very much at the bottom of the list, so...
But let's see if you were in Dean's shoes, if you had his CV.
One of them, 40. Joe McCall, 155.
I would say, hang on a minute. I've done this before. I know what this is about. I know this format. I enjoy
99.
this format.
Dean McCall, 46.
If you want to underestimate me, fine. I'll make you pay. I'll show you.
Getting shown the first leg, Dean Finn.
And that's a good way to
Second leg,
start.
Jody through
Yeah,
first.
say no more.
Game on.
There's no such thing as a bad motivator.
40.
I would not be surprised if he knows everything about those odds. But there are some people who can self-motivate without anything exterior like that.
58.
Merely competing and winning and trying to repeat previous success is enough for them.
100.
Normally, Joe wouldn't have that much travelling to do, just over the water in the Isle of Wight, but touched
57.
upon earlier, I had to make the long trip down from the northwest, from Wigan, which was where the Pro Tour was at earlier on this week, and
60.
didn't go to plan for Joe. Rare, very rare that it didn't go his way. Usually enjoys quite a good run on the Pro Tour. 2 first-round exits at Wigan. One
140.
against Richard Veenstra, who is in real good nick at the moment. There's no disgrace in that. And it was 6-5.
180.
What a 6-1 defeat to Shane McGurk, who is also no stranger to this building. Still holds the record for the fastest game ever played in his whitewash win over Danny Van Tripe. So
58. Joe McCall,
he's going to come back.
121.
G himself back up. He can do it
89.
by bringing himself level.
If you're going to be a pro dart player, or if you're going to be someone who graces the Pro Tour on a regular
96.
basis,
Joe McCall, 32.
and if you live on the Isle of Wight, be prepared to get on that ferry a lot. Unless you've got a helicopter.
16.
And I don't know any
Junior
dart
car
player that's got a
92.
helicopter yet. And I mean one that can travel on, not something with a remote control. Well, let's see if Finn can control this. Turns out he can't get the treble he needed.
32. Junior car 16.
Makes no mistake this time. And he is now level.
Third leg Dean to throw first. Game on.
But that is the sort of downside when you do that travel, you put in that prep, you go there for 2 days, 3 nights, whatever, and you earn
60.
no money.
And I believe that's the way it should be. I know there's a lot of chatter about
One of them, 40.
dart players on the Pro Tour should get something for being in round one. I disagree 100%. Darts has always been a performance-related industry.
56.
Getting a tour card is no guarantee of money. It's a guarantee of opportunity. So if
60.
you go all the way to Wigan from the Isle of Wight, you win 2 games, you win $2.5 grand. 2 games. 2,500 quid. But if you don't win any games, you get nothing. I think that's incredibly fair.
180.
And I once spoke to Keegan Brown about this very subject, albeit it was a long
60.
time ago. And bearing in mind that Keegan still lives on the Isle of Wight, I said, why don't you move to the mainland to make it easy for yourself? And he said, if you've got one of the biggest festivals in Europe, and you've also got
65.
the best weather in the UK, why would you move? Keegan Brown 1, Nicholson 0.
One of them, 40. Junior car 140.
Ding dong, grandfather clock. Might have no bearing on who wins the leg. Oh, that was a bit risky, wasn't it, Dean?
Treble 19. Wrong side of the wire.
61.
Eyebrow raised
Junior car 40.
from Hunt. Finn now looking at tops.
Each on the third leg, Dean Finn.
He's back ahead. And again, he's showing
Fourth leg,
quite a bit of
Jody
character,
first.
and there's
Game
a
on.
bit of a strut about Dean Finn.
He's got 217 darters now. That's a decent level of play.
55.
But now that we've mentioned the Isle of Wight, a lot of people think of the United Kingdom as England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and then you've got the Republic of Ireland, of course, thereafter.
95.
But there are parts of the UK where people may reside on an island that might be world class at darts, but don't give it a go because logistically it won't work. What if you're from Jersey? What if you're from Guernsey? Or maybe the Isle of Skye? Can you imagine making the Pro Tour
134.
from Jersey? Now, if you live in Jersey, you probably can't afford a helicopter. But what if you live
58.
at Stornoway in Scotland? There are logistical challenges for dart players everywhere.
I'm not exactly
58.
sure of the vault scene on Guernsey.
I'm going to start digging. I'm sure there should be a vault system in Stornoway. Great place.
45.
Great people. What if you lived in Shetland? There's definitely dart players in Shetland.
Well, Joe has left a bogey. So if Finn can find another one of those,
134.
which he has, Hunt could be in a bit of bother.
131.
Are you getting the feeling like
Junior car
I am
80.
that people are targeting him? So you think you're the big dog, do you? Well, we're going to take you out. Let's see if Finn can do it. Don't hit the bull. Now hit the bull. Wow.
Gauge
That was
on the
clean
fourth
as
leg,
well.
Dean Finn.
That was as clean as you like. He wasn't targeting
Big
Hunt there, he
Dean
was
to do
targeting
first.
the centre, and boy, did he find it.
The dart at the 25 made it. Oh, Dean Finn fancies it all right.
Game on.
This wee man's got chops.
Again, there's a real strut about Dean Finn.
Look at Joe in the background. As soon as that first 60 is planted, he's thinking,
85.
oh, I've got this guy right from the off. And if you've got the first game of Thursday night
100.
and the third game and you lose them both, that is 25% of your games done already.
And that's the pitfall. That is the danger of Group B. Yes, it's more favourable, as we well know.
134.
3 from 5 qualify. But it can quickly get away from you. A couple of back-to-back losses.
95.
And you're right down the bottom. Back-to-back wins, and you're well on your way.
To be fair, though, Joe is only
56.
25% on doubles for the night so far. That's not good enough. He's going to have to raise that by 15% at least for the rest of the night.
133.
Finn's got 2 visits here to get a 4-1 victory. And it would put him top of the table.
$85.
So what can Hunt leave?
137.
That'll do
Junior car
nicely.
141.
The shot is on. Not anymore. Hunt
99.
can't mess
Joe car
around.
36.
If he wants to steal this game, he needs to
Gates on
keep
the
doing
fifth leg,
that.
Joe Hunt. 6 leg Joe.
And that
to
is
first.
one
Game
of
on.
2 breaks that he requires. He really doesn't hang around, does he?
No, it shouldn't phase him. Won't phase him either.
140.
Knows he's more than capable.
Certain little things just don't escape my attention. And yes, this makes me an incredible darts nerd. And I'm not bothered by it one iota.
Well, the secret's out.
One of
Nicholson,
them
a darts
40.
nerd. Who'd have thought it?
Well, there you go. The flights that Joe Hunt is using
99.
are the same model and the same colour scheme as the flights that Keegan Brown was using at the start of his career.
$93.
Must be an Isle of Wight thing.
It's the only logical conclusion.
They are exactly the same.
40.
And you know who used to use those as well at the start of his PDC career? Simon Whitlock. Yes, Simon Whitlock used to use St. George flights.
101.
Make sense of that if you want to.
Well, Dean Finn is making sense of a lot.
58. Junior car
good things.
167.
And there's a real aura of resignation now from Joe Hunt.
Yeah, that's an aura of, can I just go to Cheers now and have a chat with Norm?
40. Joey car 164. $40.
Again, they've
Junior
not
car
really done enough with that.
127.
Why has he not gone for the bull with the last start? I think he might have just figured it out. But he's been given a reprieve here. But to be honest with you, Sam, I don't
49.
fancy this.
Joey car 124.
Not from what I've seen in the last few minutes. Not quite. It was a close call.
Just tell all is
42.
not wholly well
car
with
78.
Joe Hunt at the moment. Just searching for something, and again, the body language tells you that Joe Hunt thinks this is over. He's right. It is over. And Dean Finn scores a huge win and inflicts back-to-back defeats on one of the hottest prospects in amateur darts at the moment in Joe Hunt. The former weekly winner in Finn is on his way. Solid display. Look at that checkout success percentage, 80%. That is very, very strong indeed. Good performance, Dean Finn.
We're still at the Live Lounge here in Portsmouth as we go into game number 4, which will see Graham Hall up against Sam Spivey, 2 weekly winners. Only one will get the 2 points. Hall could indeed go top of the table on points if he's to get the win against Sam Spivey, who is one of 2 players who are yet to score. One of them is Joe Hunt. He's played twice now and lost twice. One of them to Sam's opponent in this match. So much for the form book.
First leg, Graham.
But it's Graham Hall who was the favourite at the start. And towards the halfway point of the first night in Group B, he could be top, but only if he gets the result here with the throw. First game of his night, he averaged 80. He's 4 out of 10 on the doubles. Definitely room for improvement, even though he did win his first game.
He will improve, but I don't think anyone saw this coming from Joe Hunt, as you mentioned that. 2 matches, 2 defeats. But these two, here we are in Series 14. Renewing their rivalry from Series 13.
85.
They're in the same week in the previous series, in the week where Graham Hall broke the heart of Alex Williams, who in that final was going in for an unblemished week
96.
till he ran into the Group A winner. In the group stage of finals night, these two faced off. Hall, a 4-2 victor. Spivey was eliminated in the group stage of that
100.
finals night.
Yeah, that was a really interesting week, wasn't it? Because Alex Williams won 10 out of 10 in Group C. He won his first 3 games of the Saturday night, and the only game he lost was in the final.
58.
Not a bad record for the week. Played 14 games, won 13, didn't get through to Champions Week.
Again, another talking point that we often reference
One of them, 40.
about these players that are sort of winners in waiting. I'd say Alex Williams is in there. The wait goes on for Tommy Morris, but by the way, what a time he's having on the Pro Tour at the moment as well.
100.
Just a bit.
Graham McCarr, 76.
But he still hasn't won here. We're going to keep saying it, Tommy, until you do win. Tops for Hall.
36. Sam McCarr, 147.
Big ask for the lefty. When he does get that weight of dart wrong, he can miss that 60 or tops by about an inch and a bit.
131. Graham McCarr, 40.
Tops then for Hall.
$20. Sam McCarr, 16.
Well, that was unexpected as well, and Spivey can enjoy the fruits of his labour after a strong set-up play.
Second leg, Sam did through first. Game on.
That leg is the poster child of just sticking at your task and waiting for an opportunity. I know you said earlier that when Graham Hall was in Champions Week back in April,
60.
it didn't go his way, but he wasn't 100% that week either. It was just bad luck that he wasn't 100% that week.
81.
And I think if you're going to have a bad Champions Week, if it's bad form, you'll think to yourself, that's not something I wanted.
100.
But if something comes up in one of the most important weeks of the year as an amateur player, you just have to say, it wasn't my time, but I have to create another chance.
59.
Yeah, finished bottom of Group A, didn't he? Went into Group C. Didn't enjoy things on Thursday, but on the Friday, he started to come alive. Just left it
100.
too late and spoilt the day of Chaz Barstow. He was being the spoiler, was the G-man.
81.
Yeah, pretty big spoiler. ADC Tour champion.
Well, that was the levels we were dealing with in that Champions Week.
You know,
41.
every time I mention that Graham Hall is ADC Tour champion, I get the feeling that Kurt Parry's watching and he's got symptoms of diverticulitis in his gut, because every time we mention that
One of
match
them,
in the
40.
final, Kurt's guts will be wrenching because he knows it should have been him.
180. Graham McCarr, 140.
Spivey is him at the moment. Will he be back? He will. 2-10s away from a 2-0 lead. Hall
23.
can't set
Sam
things
McCarr,
up
20.
meaningfully.
He doesn't have to move too much as a lefty to hit this double 10. But a little bit more, if you please. Well, I Spivey with my little Ivy, a 2-0 lead.
Third leg, Graham did through
That
first.
was a really
Game
good
on.
shot. That was like Roberto Carlos. Right around the post.
100.
Absolutely tremendous find. Look at that angle. Absolute cinema.
Yeah, he's thrown
100.
that dart from about 8 and a bit feet. And if you're going to be one of those lateral players, using the oki left and right,
60.
that is something that you don't necessarily practice. But if you do practice enough, you might find yourself going left and right and getting used to shots like that.
100.
Look how far over he was. Just pinpoint precision, firing it in.
And interestingly, we had a shot there of when he hit the double 10.
41.
He wasn't trying to lever his body into the shot by getting it in the air with the use of the upper body. He just threw it naturally. He might have envisaged going for double 6 and throwing high at double 10, which he hit. He's just trying to throw it a little bit higher. He's not trying to throw it harder.
100. Samnikar 161.
First to a finish yet again. No interest whatsoever in the treble 17, and that is about as much emotion as you will ever see from Sam Spivey.
93.
Yeah, not a bad visit whatsoever. If you were to poll 100 left-handers, most of them would say I'd like tops or 10s. That's why they go 16s. Because it's all about leaving tops and 10s.
28. Grimikar 100.
He'd want to leave that one in. That was a perfect marker. You feel as though this has got to go from Hall, otherwise this match is completely
80.
getting away from him.
Samnikar 40.
He's just shown Spivey where the target is.
He's also shown him how disappointed he is.
20.
He can't find double 10 this time.
20.
This is a let-off for Graham. Because it really could have been a double break.
Has to go, Graham.
10.
And it's not gone.
Samnikar 20.
Hall, for the first time tonight, is in trouble.
Getting shown the third
Pretty
leg,
much the
Sam
same spot as the
Spivey.
previous leg, but this one didn't have markers.
Fourth leg, Sam did through first. Game on.
Would you want to play Sam Spivey at poker? Because I sure as heck would not.
One of them, 40.
In the poker world, there are some very famous faces, especially from Scandinavia. And they don't flinch when they've got quads or a royal
93.
flush. And they have the same face if they've got a busted straight. This guy would be an extremely good poker player.
60.
And there's a lot of amateur players can learn a lesson, I think, from Sam Spivey. Because the one thing he doesn't do is he doesn't feed his opponent emotion. He doesn't give them anything to think about.
57.
He doesn't exude any negativity.
Nope, just gets on with it. Almost refreshing in a way.
41.
Yeah, I think if you were going to try and find 5 dart players across this level and the Pro Tour who are unlikely to be on TikTok, I think Sam Spivey's in that top 5. He strikes you as the kind of kid you want to take home to your mum. What on earth?
140.
Oh my word. How is that stayed in the board? Somebody get Brian Cox on the phone.
100.
Well, let's take another look.
120.
Incredible. And this could be it.
80.
That was not an easy shot. I'm surprised he didn't go right. Time to save the match, Graham. Which he can't.
51.
And by thrusting that third dart
From
away,
the
he
car,
believes
40.
this is toast.
In a match that has defied the
Each on
laws
the
of
mat, Sam
physics
Spivey.
at times, Sam Spivey has whitewashed Graham Hall, and Spivey is finally on his way. Things are really starting to level up now in Group B. Everyone is beating everyone at the moment. Spivey, 85 and change on the averages, steady enough. Hall, disappointing by his standards. Spivey with a whitewash. Well, time for an Irish derby. Can Dean Finn and Dylan Slevin back up their opening victories? One of them will. The other very much will not. Slevin, 4-3 the victor over Sam Spivey, who we saw before the break with a 4-0 win of his own against Graham Hall. Dean Finn, what a performance he put in. 4-2 win over Joe Hunt, who is
First leg,
currently
Dylan, you through first.
the only player in
Game
Group
on.
B yet to register a win out of 2 attempts. Ominous early signs for one of the favourites for the week.
60.
There are no such things as foregone conclusions here.
You aren't wrong. I like these
95.
games, though. Ireland has provided this place with a lot of happy memories. 9 darters.
81.
Big performances on Saturday nights. An international pairs team win for Conor Heenahan and John O'Shea.
90.
And to Ireland, we are thoroughly grateful for all of the players they've sent our way through the 86
100.
system over the last few years. And they will continue to come. However, this afternoon, it didn't go very well for Dylan Sinclair.
119.
He played 5 games and lost 5 games. He'll probably be watching tonight, cheering these boys on.
82.
And yet, Dylan Slevin was in the qualifier that Dylan Sinclair won to get here.
81.
This goes to show that Sinclair has the ingredients. It just didn't go his way. He's not the first debutant for that to happen to, and probably won't be the last.
138.
I think one of the most important things about that is that Dylan Slevin didn't expect to get an invite. He thought he was going to have to qualify. Here comes Dean on tops.
96.
Oh, that was close.
Dylan your car 40.
Good guide.
Getting shot the first leg, Dylan Slevin.
Neatly done.
Second leg, Dean did through first.
Wasn't wholly
Game on.
simplistic. Had to survive a little mini scare, but Slevin does provide himself with an early hold of throw.
140.
As you can see from that dart shirt, Ocean's Slevin, as he's known. He likes the
58.
hearts. Do you have a favourite casino game?
No is the short answer.
95.
Well, on the back of the shirt, he's got blackjack in spades.
96.
Don't mind a bit of brag is the slightly longer answer.
Old school.
Yeah.
Old school.
81.
I think in casino paraphernalia, I wonder if there are any darting equivalents with the same name. Well, this afternoon we had a white horse.
43.
In the poker world, there's such a thing as horse, which is a multi-game discipline at the World Series of Poker. You got to play
95.
a little bit of Omaha, a bit of Hold'em, a bit of Raz, a bit of Stud.
100.
As far as I'm
Indica
aware, there's no
90.
dart game called Pai Gow. Not yet.
50.
Been going aggressive there. No need to play it safe for one dart at the bull. Slevin not really getting going up until
92.
now at least.
Indica 40.
In the second, Finn back for tops.
Second time he's missed tops low. Oh, no, this is jeopardy. Really good shot,
Second
that.
leg defense.
With Slevin just
Third leg Dylan to through first.
silently waiting in the background. He's thinking, if you miss that fives, I'm going to make you pay. But he didn't get a look.
136.
Yeah, good stuff from Finn. Really likeable character.
96.
Do you think if these two were having an honest conversation between themselves, we would understand it? You know how accents get
100.
thicker when they're around people from the same neck of the woods? I think if these two lads were having banter about something that really is close to their heart, I don't think we'd understand them.
140.
So the obvious question is, what happens when you go back up to the northeast?
Oh, you've got no idea. I start sounding like Sam Fender.
98.
Or maybe Steve Harmison after a night out.
Has to persevere with the 19s. Cops a wicked deflection, so
83. Still in the car,
still
167.
in with free reign at this 167.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think that should have been an 18 switch there. He's down there. He can see the angles better than we can, but that didn't look kind. In blocking the 57, I think he was better off going to the 18s.
121.
Let's see if he can take this out for the 2-1 lead after all.
Well, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Shake of the head from Slevin.
57. Junior car 125.
Dean there just using his glass of water just to cool himself down. It is very, very hot on that stage today.
He was going the Rod Harrington route there on the 125.
50.
You're not wrong. It is warm up there. But you'd always rather it be a little bit warmer than a little bit chillier. Tops for 2-1.
44. Junior car 75.
This game is befuddling. It could be 2-1 either way. So many opportunities. This could be a shot for Finn for 3-0. Third consecutive leg he's had a shot. And the third time in a row at tops he's been low, but this time he's low and left.
Just leant into it a little bit with all three. Slevin punishes, as you expect him to do.
4:15 to throw first. Game on.
Was only a hold for Slevin, but that quick peer around wasn't sure.
100.
You know how young people right now love a fringe? When they go to the barbers, they get the short back and sides and they just say, leave the top.
137.
There are times that having a fringe as a dart player is a drawback. Because when you play here at the Modus Super Series and things get a little bit humid at this time of year, the last thing you want is a fringe.
135.
You can see on Dean Finn Ford's forehead that the fringe is starting to get perspiration, showing just how warm it is. So, best thing you can do, give yourself a little bit of a quiff.
125.
He did just raise his glass to his forehead and that fringe there just to keep things cool.
And just get one of those hairbands that they've got at the World Cup. Who was wearing one of those the other day?
99.
Alexis
Junior car
McAllister.
141.
How good was that bullseye?
83.
It just had a lovely pop to it, didn't it?
We've seen some fantastic utilisation of the centre of the board throughout the day's play. Excellent
56.
board management.
Junior car 58.
Always appreciated. And now Finn looking at tops again. Finds it this time.
If he'd been that good on tops in the previous 3 legs, he would have won this game 4-0.
$45.
That's a lovely shot. Taken out in 2. And that was the best leg of the match as well, a 14-darter.
134.
In all the time that Dean Finn has been coming here to the Modus Super Series, he has never changed the kind of flights he's used.
46.
He has always had these ones that he's using here. They're a bit of fun.
No need to change
57.
a winning formula.
That's so true. And earlier this afternoon, we were talking about Oliver King having personalised flights and how people love to have something
45.
with their name on. But there are certain players like Dean Finn and James Hubbard who use flights for different reasons because they have sentimental meaning. Maybe they were
100.
chosen by someone who's very special to them. In fact, I do believe the ones that James Hubbard was
59.
using were chosen by his child.
Yeah, that's the case with Dean as well.
$100.
Finn has got a real chance in this leg to get that crucial break.
139. Dina car 110.
Slevin, not for the first time, gets going late in the day in terms of an individual leg. Looking at treble 17.
61. Dina car
Dylan takes this
167.
out. This will be out of the clear blue sky. But as the sun has already gone down, there is no blue sky left.
93. Dina car 49.
Finn has had a dart at least to win every leg in this contest. Which makes it
29.
even more strange
car
that he
74.
could be behind.
Well, it's just going to be the one. Clutch moment.
34.
Slevin
Junior car
can't
20.
find tops. Finn is back for that crucial break.
I think most of the darts at double in this match have been at tops. Got to go for it.
10.
Just
Junior car
imagine
40.
if that second dart was where the third one was, he might have had a better chance of hitting it with his final shot. There we
Each
are
on the
again.
fifth leg,
Second
Dylan Slevin.
time that Slevin has found a wonderful tops
Six leg
off
Dean
a
to throw
pearler of
first.
a marker.
Game on.
And again, we see a real shake of the head there after a player has won a leg.
It's not necessarily about the result, it's about the journey. They're not happy with the journey, but they still catch the bus.
100.
Because imagine if you're running to catch the bus and you get on it and you are on your way to where you need to be. What's the first thing you do if you just make it? You sit down and you go, oh, that was a bit of a trial, wasn't it?
41.
Welcome to the human race, everyone.
79.
Well, Finn, there's no getting away from it. That was a huge opportunity that went awry in that previous leg. We're feeling as though
71.
this match should already be wrapped up. Back in the players' room, 2 out of 2. Jobs are good.
Sounds simple in theory.
57.
But if you're talking about theory against practicality, how about Joe Hunt being 5th? That's going to happen no matter what happens in this game.
96.
He's got Sam Spivey next, who's going to be on the oche in Game 6 off the back of a 4-0 win.
Could probably just play this
95.
safe, but was
Junior car
aggressive.
153.
The deflection forced it into the big number. Finn can't find a treble 19 of his own, and a stray into the 5,
75.
but that certainly
Junior
helps.
car 170.
We saw Alex Small win a match by reeling in the big fish this afternoon. Slevin can't mirror that image.
100. Junior car 78.
If he gets to a double here, which he does, it's going to be another leg where he gets shots. And this could be a Richie
66.
Burnett game for Dean
Junior
Finn.
car 70.
He could say, I could have won this 6-0, but I lost 4-2.
Double 8. He has lost 4-2. Dean Finn will not be able to quite fathom just how he has managed to lose that match. Dylan Slevin won't mind one bit. He goes 2 out of 2 and is top of the Group B standings at the quarter stage. It wasn't pretty. He really had to battle, but it's a win nevertheless. Halfway stage of the opening night in Group B, and Joe Hunt is in a spot of bother, and I don't think anyone really saw this coming. 4-2 defeat against Graham Hall, no disgrace in that. The G-Man has some serious form in this building. He couldn't back it up against an inspired Sam Spivey. Dylan Slevin, however, 2 wins out of 2. As we can take a look at the Group B standings, there we see Slevin with a perfect 4 points so far. Spivey, Finn and Hall all picking up 1 win out of 2. And Joe Hunt, 0 points from 2 matches. There is still time to turn things around, but he needs to find a winning formula, and quickly. But I would argue, Paul Nicholson, that all 5 players are a bit guilty of not really showing their best so far in this group, which promised so much.
I would absolutely agree with that. We had high hopes, but maybe we've, in the last week, seen the peak of this series. Last week was always going to be a difficult act to follow, with Coulson and other people getting 100-plus averages and seeing such incredible stuff. So when we bring reputation off the back of that, in the shape of Hunt and Spivey and Slevin and others,
Game on.
Maybe that's a kind of standard that can't be backed up, and we just have to be very realistic of the anxieties of the
60.
players. That it's really difficult just to get victories in this kind of setting, especially when the conditions are a little bit stuffy. But spare a thought for the people that are playing next week, because the forecast for the conditions in the early part of next week on the south coast,
100.
somewhere in the region of 8 or 9 degrees higher. Next week is going to be very difficult indeed.
100.
And that surely has got to make Boris Krčma one of the favourites, because he lives in Croatia.
96.
And they know a thing or two about really hot temperatures.
Yeah, Big Boris back in the live lounge next week in what looks to be one of the most difficult Group A's you will ever see.
140.
The champs are back next week. The reigning Super Series champ and also the ADC Global champion, both in that Group A.
Samika, 121.
This is Drayton and Tweddle. Spivey looking at the 1-2-1. We see that so well more and more often these days in these 1-2-1, 1-2-4
81.
combinations.
Joe
The big
Car,
number is getting missed.
120.
I don't understand it. That was a big opportunity for Joe.
44. Samika, 40.
But it just doesn't seem like it's there this evening.
Getting shot on the first leg,
That
Sam
missed
Spivey.
11 didn't make any difference.
Second leg, Sam to through first.
But it
Game
is a
on.
subject that we should talk about, because people are getting greedy on the 61. If you have to go 11 bull, why on earth would you not go for the 11?
180.
If you slightly overshoot the single, you're going to
60.
hit the single. If you're in a gambling mood, you might as well go for the 25 then.
I agree.
95.
There is something that is really contagious of late. Seeing it very often at the moment.
It's greed, Sam. I hate to be that guy,
180.
but it's greed. It is one of the 7 deadly sins. It's very close to gluttony, another deadly sin, because you can want for
56.
too much. There's such a thing as safety in this sport. If you've got 61 left with 2 darts in hand,
100.
and your opponent's on a
Samika,
finish, just go for the 11.
170.
Worst case scenario is you're going to have 11 for bull. Now, if you miss the single because you missed it high, then that's your fault.
85.
But at least you did the right thing.
161.
And the right thing for Spivey next. I'll be interested to see what he does if he gets a single 15
47.
first.
Samika, 85.
Gets the treble. It's irrelevant.
45. Joe Car, 114.
Right then. Joe needs the treble 18, but it's just not happening at all for him here tonight.
58. Samika, 40.
I can sympathise. I think he's just having one of those bad days at the office at just the wrong time.
Getting shot on
And
the second leg,
Spivey is
Sam
all
Spivey.
over him. He has now won
Third leg, Joe to throw first. Game on.
6 legs in a row on that stage tonight.
Hunt was talking
81.
about having no luck on the Pro Tour early this week. That bad luck, unfortunately for him, has continued into tonight.
177.
And the profit for Spivey keeps coming. If he was a stock right now, you'd buy him.
100.
And he's in the midst of putting in, by far and away, the best display we've seen all night.
58. $100.
It's not as if Joe's putting in really low numbers tonight. Lost with an 83.5. Lost with an 88 and change.
89.
But we know that's his B game. Maybe you would say even his C game. It's just not quite
140.
clicking.
He is going to have to take that 80 out.
99. Joe Ricard 80.
Well, can he do it? The one shot. Top
Game
of the
show
shot.
Third leg, Joe
Oh,
Hunt.
he does take it out. That has to be a turning point now for Joe.
Fourth examiner through first. Game on.
Sometimes all you need is a good clean kill. Let me tell you a little tale. Back in 2009,
93.
myself and some of my closest friends on the tour played a lot of darts, week in, week out, and we didn't
60.
really have the luxury of taking breaks because we were chasing ranking points all over the world. We went to the Australian Open, and we had 2 Dart Players Australia events one weekend, and then from Monday to
100.
Friday the next week at the same venue, I had a team event. We were playing day in, day out, every single day.
100.
In the middle of that team event, when I was representing Victoria, I played so poorly that I decided not to play for the rest of the week. I needed a day off
98.
to get ready for the Australian Open that year, and I said, I'm not playing. And I took a walk from Coogee Bay to Bondi just to
57.
clear my head. Didn't even look at a dart all day. You need that every now and again. Just to think about something else, to give your mind that extra bandwidth and that energy.
140.
That might be something that Joe Hunt needs. He's been all-consuming with darts over the last few months. He might just need that little mental break.
140. Samikar 70.
Wow. That's a real slip from Spivey.
30. Joe Ricard 144.
This is well within his capabilities, but again, he's just left to raise those eyebrows and just
96.
think of
Samikar
what
40.
could have been as Spivey can go one away with tops. Again, it's very safe.
Getting shown the fourth leg, Sam Spivey.
More aggression needed, and we got it with the third.
Fifth leg, Jody through first. Game on.
It was actually Paul Hinks that told us
45.
before Sam Spivey popped here just how good he was. But after all of the games that we've seen him play,
100.
we understand the levels he's got. So when he's averaging 95 after 4 legs, you think,
140.
okay, yeah, I can get behind that. But based on evidence alone, there's another level. There is a game in him
81.
that he hasn't quite found yet, of around about 112 to 115. It's definitely in there.
60.
And I think he's like a very young Derek Coulson. He's left-handed. He's very mild-mannered. He's very
140.
dangerous. He is a winner. I just wonder if we are going to see that version of
140.
him. Might even be this week. But that's the dart he's trying to get rid of.
100. Joey Carr 116.
to stay in it. Tops the target.
96. Somebody can't
And now
80.
Joe Hunt has to hope and wait that Spivey isn't at his clinical best. Loops it over nicely. Can he go even higher?
40. Joey Carr 20.
That checkout is always going to be troublesome for the way his darts sit in the board. Gotta go. That is such a wonderful dart. How does he do that? Those darts are landing flat in the board. So how is that a marker?
Again, the body language, though, is all wrong. It's almost as if someone needs to give him a big boot up the backside.
I'll leave that to you, Sam. I'm not going to do it.
No.
He's bigger than me.
100.
Yeah, how does that go in? It glances and actually pushes that marker dart to the left. It's not a marker. If anything, it's a bumper. It should be taking it further away.
$100.
It's definitely getting better, but not to the rate that he requires.
He's still disappointed with a ton. He's still feels as though he's not hitting his levels. The stats and results back that up, of course.
40.
Oh, no. Now that Spivey has got a 1-dart lead, he's going to stretch the lead now. Trying to get to a 2-darter, and he's not going to do that.
97.
$108 is all about which double you want to leave.
Somebody Carr 108.
You don't go 19s if you want to leave tops.
Hunt is in a spin, but it could be academic.
Game
It
shot on the mat,
is. Sam Spivey is getting better and better as the night continues here. Backing up that whitewash win with an even more impressive win and the best display of the night so far, by far. It's 4-2, 96 average, the 108 wrapping it up in comprehensive order. Joe Hunt is in trouble. Sam Spivey is on the move.
Reese Robinson.
Your Modus Super Series Women's Week winner, Fallon Sherrock.
For a 160 checkout. And he gets it this time.
Superb.
Shovel 20 for Tops. Tops, they get it done in style. They get it done with a bit of brilliance.
Week 2 champion, Conor Heenahan.
And he does eventually win Series 13.
Modus Super Series champion, Jack Drayton.
It is yet another stellar week next week here at the Modus Super Series. As we touched upon earlier, the champs are returning. The reigning Super Series champion begins his title defence, Jack Drayton. The reigning ADC Global champion, Jack Tweddle, is back. Reese Robinson, 3-time weekly winner. Big Boris Kirchmar returns, along with Robbie Martin, who is well in that list of winners in waiting. Spare a thought for Sebastian Karras in that Group A. Fallon Sherrock, the most recent Women's Week winner, is in Group B alongside former world champion and our beloved colleague Scott Mitchell and Conor Heenahan, who's almost done it all on this stage as well. Group C, Joe Mernon, also close to winning a week here the last time out against Alex Small. He's alongside Ashton Brown, very useful player, and of course Butch Devine, who got to a weekly semi-final in the previous series as well. How about that? For another week, it gets underway as always, Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. We touched upon it earlier, but that Group A, spare a thought for our ADC Swedish qualifier.
If you're going to make your debut here, you may as well do it in a group like that. He's not under any pressure when he comes here, apart from maybe his surname. The fact is, if you're going to have an experience, you might as well have the full experience. And that's about as full a Group A experience as you could possibly wish for without having someone like Derek Coulson or Steve West or Neil Duff. Some of the all-time greats. But what you have got are players that have a presence. Like a defending champion. Like an ADC Global champion. So next week is going to be eventful, come what may.
One of them, 40.
Great to have Jack Drayton back. It's only the third week he's ever played here, of course. Winning Group A in the week on 36. Debut, booking his spot in Champions Week. And he goes and wins the whole thing.
One of them, 40.
I did make a bit of a claim off the back of that. I think he goes back to back.
100.
What has brought you to that conclusion?
It is a bold claim. Only Luke Littler has done it.
100.
But in all the Saturday nights I've worked, he has been the one that has stuck in my head and that has impressed me the most. Composure at big moments, not expending unnecessary energy here and there, as Slevin looks to just set things up now. But Drayton, the composure for such a young man.
52.
That's arguably a decision for him to make in the future because he's such a good golfer, plays off scratch. He could be well worth a spot on the PGA Tour eventually, never mind the PDC Tour. But he is such a talented
69.
player. So is Graham Hall, but we'll forget that visit.
Yeah, he scores 7 against Slevin. 6 more. Now what do you do?
63.
Well, a KGF at a double 3. Now, if you do have 69 points left when your opponent is on 178, going 15s is actually the best player because you don't find yourself
92.
anywhere near double 3.
Dylan Carr 6. Getting shown the first leg. Dylan
Doesn't matter in the end. He gets himself a 1-0 lead. And if
Second
you
leg,
are
Dylan
as
to third first.
aggressive a
Game
dart
on.
player as Dylan can be, you shouldn't be afraid of any double. The way he throws darts, it's like he's tossing cabers through a wall.
60.
Look at the ferocity of the way he throws every shot. It's like it's personal.
Ever so quietly, Dylan has been
95.
going about his business very impressively. I say slightly under the radar, very unassuming. But
100.
given the way things have gone on in this group so far, still got a 100% record.
He's got this game. And he's got Joe Hunt last.
100.
And his confidence is on the floor tonight. He could be responsible for making sure that Joe Hunt has a pointless night.
140.
These two renewing acquaintances off the back of Group A. Slevin leads the head-to-head by 2 matches to 1.
Only the one close game. That was on Tuesday. 4 legs to 3 to Graham Hall. The other 2, 4 legs to 1 in the favour of the Irishman.
43. Graham your car, 142. $51.
So
Double your
Slevin
car,
then
158.
to double his lead in impressive fashion. A pretty for Hall, who
60. Graham your car,
since that
91.
opening win over Joe Hunt really hasn't kicked on at all.
No, he really hasn't. I'm going to use that word attritional again. It does describe
51.
that first game of the night.
Double your car, 98.
And it's starting to describe this game too. That is a really good play. Double 9.
80.
That made
Graham your
sense.
car, 40.
He almost made it count.
Tops for Hall.
Getting shot on the second leg, Graham Hall.
Almost right in the middle of it. That'll do nicely for G-Man.
Third leg, Graham to through first. Game on.
You watch Graham play all week. The one thing you're going to see is a consistent angle of entry in the board. Look at the way those darts are sitting right now. It's exactly the same as that one.
100.
Exactly the same as that one. It shows an integral release. With Slevin, what you've got there are 3 really good darts. But what we've noticed this week is that there's a visit that comes in where the angle of entry is very erratic. I would like to know why.
134.
There'll be a dart that goes in very upright, then there's one that goes in flat. The moment I mention it, everything looks really good. Just keep that up.
Keep it consistent. Consistency is key.
All any dart player wants
59.
is the ability to throw darts easily, where they go in at the same angle every single time.
60.
There's one of those darts right there. That one went in sideways and 2 upright. The reason for that could be that his hand is a bit warm, might have been a bit sweaty, or it could have been a bad grip of that dart in that moment. Don't even get me started on the flights. They're not fanned out properly.
40.
That drives
Car,
99.9% of dart players crazy. It's one of the reasons why people use molded flights these days, because you don't have to fold them out.
This is much better from Hall. Double 8.
66. Double your car, 138.
Over to Slevin.
That went in flat. Look at the difference.
98. Graham your car, 8.
Muddling, befuddling. Hall Down the barrel, into the
Gain shot on the third
target.
leg, Graham Hall.
And Graham Hall is 2-1 to the good.
Fourth leg, Dylan to through first. Game on.
England versus Ireland. Didn't England play Ireland at Italia 90?
96.
Or have I just imagined that?
Was it 86 or 90?
Have I really got you thinking about that? Because for some
82.
reason that's sticking out to me.
It was definitely Jack Charlton and Bobby Robson.
100.
Nothing like two Northeastern managers to go loggerheads, right? Jack Charlton from Ashington in Northumberland, famous for the Charlton brothers.
60.
And the Harmison brothers. Oh, this is a really, really famous approach.
162.
Made famous by Rob Cross. And Cross won the world title back in 2018.
38.
His
Double
final
Carlton,
6 starts were
43.
5 treble 18s and double 16. And that is how you win a world title.
45.
And at the time, that 140 out was the biggest shot to win a PDC World Championship. It has now been beaten.
60. Dylan the car, 98.
Slevin only needs 98. He's not going to get it.
42.
Not to worry, though, for Dylan. Hall is really lagging behind.
$55. Dylan the car, 56. Gain shot on the fourth leg, Dylan Slevin.
Clean kill, very clinical indeed from Slevin.
Fifth leg, Graham to throw first. Game on.
We have parity once more.
$100.
Hall looking for his second win of the night. Slevin looking for his third to maintain his unblemished record and
58.
send himself back to the top of the group standing.
Believe it or not, it was 36 years ago last week where England
85.
did play Ireland at the World Cup. It was one each. Gary Lineker, of course, scored for England. Irish scorer Kevin Sheedy. He had a great left foot. Some great names in those teams, my word.
140.
Chris Waddle, Paul Gascoigne, Brian Robson, Peter Beardsley.
95.
I'm wetting your whistle, aren't I?
Rumour has it Lionel Messi had pictures of Peter Beardsley on his bedroom wall.
Didn't we all? Yeah, all the while,
60.
Dylan Slevin wasn't even born. And the likes of Steve Staunton and Mick McCarthy were playing for the Republic of Ireland.
There is a little story about Peter Beardsley and Paul Gascoigne
135.
surrounding Italia 90,
Gurney
but that
car,
will wait till the next leg.
116.
Treble. Single.
76.
Not the double.
Dylan the car,
As soon as that
73.
60 was hit, Slevin was thinking, oh, you pesky beast. But he could be the pesky one if he finds tops himself.
33.
Not
Gurney car,
quite.
40.
He is frustrated. And will be more so if visit number 6 for Hall yields a 3-2 lead.
Gain shot on the fifth leg, Graham Hall.
That'll do it. Hall is one away.
Sixth leg, Dylan to throw first. Game on.
Over to Slevin to respond. But forgive me if I have mentioned this before. Italia 90, made famous
99.
not just by events on the pitch, but by World in Motion. the famous rap by John Barnes. There is a version on YouTube somewhere where Peter Beardsley does
41.
the rap, and the same with Paul Gascoigne, and it is as horrendous as you can imagine it would be.
Why have I never heard about this before?
98.
Guess what we're going to do at the next break now?
I wouldn't mind hearing that rap by some of the Irish players.
100.
Even though most of the Irish players back at Italia 90 didn't have Irish accents.
Well, now, once you hear the Paul Gascoigne and Peter Beardsley versions, New Order didn't really have a difficult decision to make. It was very much Barnes's gig.
Fair enough. Whose gig is this?
140.
Still up for debate here in what could be the last leg of the match. Hall wants to win to get to 4 points where Slevin already
82.
is. If Slevin can somehow win the next 2 legs, he will be the first person to 6 points in this group.
$45. Dylan Carr, 164.
Well, that is a slip in anyone's book. And now Slevin, 6 minimum from 164. He will, of course,
60.
need them, as we know by now, but you'd say that's not enough from Dylan as well. So Paul can just really set things up a treat, which he is going to do.
135.
The impetus
Dylan
really
Carr,
is on Dylan
104.
Slevin to dispatch this 104.
Oh, what a contrast to the previous visit from Graham. Are we doing a last leg decider?
64.
Maybe not,
Dylan
because
Carr,
Hall
40.
has got 2 points on a plate. Did he bring the knife and fork?
Has to go.
20.
That's
Dylan Carr,
incredible.
40.
Sheer disbelief.
He could not ask for better markers than that.
Getting shown the 6 leg, Dylan Slevin.
But they might be the only shots he gets to win this game.
7th final leg, Graham to throw first. Game on.
Well, on we go. Match starts coming and going from Hall.
45.
He's got to forget what happened at the end of the leg. This is what elite players do. The ability to move on from disappointment. It's got to happen in 5 to 10 seconds.
99.
Think about some of the most famous bounce backs in sport. Gary Anderson at the 2015 World Championship had 3 darts on the floor. He could have scored 180. He scored nothing. That happened in a set that he won against the greatest player of all time.
One of them, 40.
He found himself at 6 sets all and won the last set 3-0. Don't tell me that Gary Anderson's not strong in mind.
One of them, 40.
Would you like another example? I don't think you need one. So when something bad happens, you've got to be able to move on quickly.
134.
Slevin hasn't allowed him to. A minor error magnified.
41.
And now
Dylan Carr,
doubled
128.
by Hall, and Slevin, who has cobbled together a really fine leg against the darts here in his own right, can take full advantage
92.
of a bit of a head loss from Hall.
Well, that's one of the benefits of going for the 18s first still when your opponent is not on a finish. Because if you get the 2 singles,
60.
you might have a good marker for the 54 to
36.
lead the 36.
36 it is. And 36
Getting shown the
has
match, Dylan
gone.
Slevin.
And Dylan Slevin survives match darts from Graham Hall, but nevertheless maintains his 100% record. What a night this has been for Ocean Slevin. 3 wins out of 3. One more for him left to play tonight, and it's against the man that is currently propping up the Group B table. Hall had his chances, but Slevin took his. He wins 4-3.
Welcome back to the action here as we have 3 games to go before we've completed our first double session of the week. And speaking of completion, Sam Spivey, who sits at 4 points in the table right now, 2 points behind the undefeated Dylan Slevin. He will complete his quota in the next 15 to 20 minutes, maybe even less if he keeps playing the way he's been playing over the last hour or so, because his last 2 matches, a 4-0 victory and a 4-2 victory against Joe Hunt, who plays next against the undefeated Slevin,
Game on.
having won no points. Who saw that coming? Nobody. And Dean Finn will play 2 of the last 3 games, and he does have points on the board already, so he could
60.
still win 6 points for his evening. And considering he was 12-1 to win the group at the start of play, Sam, this could still be a very, very profitable night for him.
59.
Yeah, this is the real nooks and crooks of the group, really, for Dean Finn. Busy end of night 1, which then in turn means it's a very busy start of night 2 for him.
26.
So, in essence, could well send himself through to finals night in the next 3 or 4 matches.
80.
We were watching Nico Plovier of Belgium this afternoon, and we were talking about how he moves a lot of his upper body into every throw.
60.
Dean Finn does something vaguely similar. The right shoulder travels upwards with every dart, but that's something to do with his height.
55.
If he was a little bit higher off the ground, he wouldn't be doing that. He'd be projecting that shoulder in a forward motion. What he's doing, because he's not the tallest, is he's
97.
motioning it upwards to get the launch angle that he requires. Some of the best dart players that have played the game have been well under 6 feet tall. Jockey Wilson, Philip Douglas Taylor, Robert Thornton. Do I need to go on?
180.
First of the match. And Spivey just finally clicking into gear.
43. Samikar 78.
I've been quite disappointed with the amount of 180s tonight. Only 8.
I mean, we've done that in first three matches of Group C this afternoon. Nevertheless, Spivey is really starting to get into the groove. And he has grown into this evening's play a real treat. Don't want to peak too soon in this format. Spivey, a master
85.
of it.
That gives you an insight into what's happening with the dart in mid-air. As you can see, the evidence
100.
of the Spivey throw is that not every world-class player has to have perfect ballistic integrity. If you look at Prime Van Gerwen in slow motion, it's salivating just how pure those darts were flying.
26.
But if you look at someone like Dennis Priestley or Dave Chisnell, the dart is doing a lot of activity in the air.
140.
That's the last thing he wanted to do.
135.
135 he'd take. But after that first dart, he's thinking 140 plus. Elite players will be thinking this is going to be a max.
100.
Needs a treble, steps across, has to go back
59.
to 20s.
Samikar 161.
Spivey just looking to set things up. Would have never contemplated a shot
65.
at 17s anyway. Finn now needs a couple after that first one. Well, that'll do. Can it follow?
85.
No.
Samikar
Gonna
96.
slip into the 5. Still leaves him on a 3-dart out. It could be academic anyway.
Yeah,
60.
another
Dinyakar
of those really
111.
safe shots at a high double. Shots like that could be the difference between winning a week and not. Or the difference in making Saturday and not. Double 16 to equalise.
95.
And missing that double could be the
Samikar
difference
36.
between equalising and being 2-0 down.
Can be aggressive now. Over to 9s.
Inch on the second leg, Sam Spivey.
Neatly done again.
Third
Again,
leg,
the
Sam to
unassuming
first. Game on.
Sam Spivey is proving to be a real thorn in the side to many in this group.
I'm surprised to read that Spivey's only made one last 16 on the Challenge Tour this season. Just one. I'm looking at the people that he's been defeated by, and I'm trying to gauge an opinion of his season. So make of this what you will. His first event of the year, he lost to Florian Price. Okay. You can get behind that. Florian's had a very decent year. Lost to Steve Lennon. Okay, you can get behind that.
96.
Lost to Billy Leonard. We've seen him a couple of times here. Okay, fair enough. Jensen Walker. That was a first round match. Ouch. Jimmy Bristow. I think Sam's a better player than Jimmy Bristow.
85.
Jimmy had a good year, though, last year. Got to the final of the England Classic.
Yeah. I would say that Sam is a little bit more developed than Bristow, but...
Agreed.
Then I look at a defeat to Tommy Lishman, and I think, yeah, Tommy's in better form. But this is where I go to town, and more recently, he's lost to Kevin Trotman. Now, he's a better player than Trotman. I'm not going to mix me words there.
125.
I think he's a better player than James Beaton. Even though he played some really good stuff here in the last fortnight.
He became himself a little unfortunate, actually. Yeah.
Then your car 170.
And he's lost to Aidan Kirk. See, I see that as a 50-50 game.
I would agree, and yet Aidan's having a good year.
He is having a good year.
39.
But I still don't think he's as good as he was maybe a year or two ago. Still plenty of time left in 2026 to do special things like this. Not quite special enough. But a return for 10s could be on the cards.
Spivey's still getting better and better. They're almost there. They're almost going in, these big shots. He's threatening. And he's not far off them. Finn looking to threaten one of his own now. Is he going tops? That was the thinking.
91.
When he's missed it tonight, he's missed it low. Spivey's at it again. Dancing to the left. Oh, back to the original spot.
Game shot on the third
Killer.
like Sam Spivey.
Ice cold as well. A lot of people would have folded with one dart at fives, but not Seaside Sam.
You mentioned that defeat of Sam's to Aidan Kirk. Look at who he beat en route. Martin Dracht and, Joe Hunt.
95.
It really is an absolute pitfall of a tournament every time these players line up at the Challenge Tour. It is arguably stronger than the Pro Tour was about 20 years ago.
Yet the cream always rises to
56.
the top. The Coulsons, the Morrises, the Lishmans, the Joe Hunts, which makes it all the more surprising as to the predicament that Joe Hunt currently finds himself in. There is time to rectify it.
23.
But you don't want to be coming into tomorrow night needing all four.
Here's a question for you, by the way. Can you imagine Tommy Morris at the Worlds? I think he could be quite popular.
I want him to get Ricky Evans in the first round.
81.
It'll go the distance and it'll be over in 3 minutes. I would argue Morris is slightly faster than Evans now as well.
Somebody get the stopwatch out. Not just for that reason, but for the reason that this game could be over if Dean Finn's not careful.
135.
Needs a big shot to get to a two-darter. Can he squeeze one past?
98.
He decided not
to.
134. And considering some of the deflections he's had, you can understand why he did switch.
Well, the only defeat
53.
Spivey has had
Somebody
this
count
evening
140.
was against Dylan Slevin, and it went the distance. It was 4-3, meaning he's a leg away from running through the card. This could be for his second whitewash win, and that's the way to finish it. What a night it has been by Seaside Sam Spivey. Since that opening defeat by the narrowest of margins to Dylan Slevin, he has not looked back. What a night, what a performance. 4-0 over Dean Finn. What a way to round off your evening's work. It's Slevin against Joe Hunt after the break. Dylan Slevin has the chance now to run through the card on the opening night of Group B against Joe Hunt, who really, really needs a win. Nothing has gone his way thus far. One of the big favourites, not just for the week, but one would argue for the series. Top of the Challenge Tour, but it's just not clicked at all for Joe Hunt, and we're all, Paul Nicholson, in a bit of shock.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the numbers to figure
Let's take Dylan to
this
throw
out. We
first.
know that Each game that he's played is different to another. But the averages between these two tonight are not that different.
99.
So unpick this. Slevin has won all 3 games with averages of 89.5, 79 and a bit, and 89.7. Joe Hunt has lost his 3 games with averages of 83, 88,
96.
and 88. There's nothing between them. So it tells me that Slevin has been doing the teeth cutting at the right moments.
Compare that to the likes
57.
of Group C this afternoon with Joe Croft. That was much more easier to explain. Despite his power scoring, his doubling was, by his standards, atrocious.
140.
Joe Hunt hasn't exactly been disastrous. It's not been at his levels that we would now expect from him, given what he's displayed
99. Joe Car 81.
on the Pro Tour, the Challenge Tour circuits so far this year. Bull.
Getting shot the first leg, Joe Hunt.
Like that, though. That's more like it.
Joe did through first. Game on.
Everything changes if he ends with a win. Because if he comes back later on tonight and he plays Dylan Slevin
45.
first game and wins that as well, everything changes. Everything. All of a sudden, he's got his tail up and everybody's got to watch out for him.
96.
Things can happen very quickly in a Group B.
84.
Just for a little bit of context here tonight, Slevin is 12 from 25 on the doubles
41.
for the night. That's very close to 50%. That's right up there.
55.
Might not be averaging to an elite level, but he's doubling to an elite percentage.
98.
There have been times where Slevin has been slow to
59.
start legs, and then all of a sudden he'd come from up the pace and swoop on by, be first to a finish and dispatch it with aplomb. That has been his key strength, one of his
66.
real big advantages here this evening.
Imagine having the ability to win 3 games
140.
in a group like this, having not played anywhere near your best. That in itself is a skill.
98. Joey Carr 118.
Tops.
93. Dylan Carr
Oh,
102.
that one's going to make the blooper reel. Sorry, Joe. Especially if this is found. Double top. Oh, there it is.
The second leg, Dylan Slevin.
Well, that was a weird 6 darts.
Third leg, Dylan did
It's
through
left me
first.
utterly speechless.
When you think about it, 5 excellent darts and 1 really, really terrible one.
40.
It was so bad, it was funny, and so funny, it's actually not funny.
40.
It must have slipped.
What did we highlight in his opening match? That unique
134.
grip.
But he has amazing dexterity.
140.
In the early part of Rob Cross's career, we used to talk about this dart that would happen every now and again where it would slip out of his hand
42.
and it would go close to the bull when he was going for treble 20. Over the years, he has almost eradicated it. Joe might have to do exactly the same. I can't really think of a better compliment to pay Joe Hunt at the minute because Rob Cross graduated from the Challenge Tour in 2016 as the winner with Ryan Searle coming second. He was world champion a year later. Can you imagine? Let's put this into context, shall we? Just under 10 years ago, someone who was in Joe Hunt's shoes
65. Joey Carr, 40.
went to the Worlds for the first time and won it.
Getting shot on the third leg, Joe Hunt.
He's 2-1 up.
Fourth leg, Jody through first. Game on.
World Championship 2027 is 6 months away. And when I say, is it
97.
plausible that Joe Hunt wins the World Championship in 2028? You might say, are you
81.
feeling okay? But there's a precedent for it.
I mean, he's rediscovered how to hit top,
100.
so it's a start. Putting those demons to bed at the earliest opportunity certainly helps. Out of his mind now.
125.
I'm going to make you feel really good now, Sam, because everybody knows that you're really good friends with Derek Coulson. If we were to put the same situation from now into that Challenge Tour season, it means that Derek Coulson's going to have a tour card soon. He's going to win 7 consecutive seasons. Because that's exactly what Ryan Searle's done
100.
when he's in his 60s.
Aging like a fine wine.
140.
Joe Hunt might not want this night to end.
60. Joey Carr, 106.
Yeah, Joe's all of a sudden playing like a gremlin.
Getting shot on the fourth leg, Joe Hunt.
If you feed him after midnight, he's going to run
Fifth leg, Joey
riot.
to throw first. Game on.
Where's this been all night? Ton plus average. 75% on the doubles.
96.
We know about the one he missed.
The fact is, Slevin is 50% on doubles for the night now, but in this match, he's twice as
95.
good, percentage-wise, but he's being flogged, if I can borrow an Australian phrase.
60.
Finally, we are
58.
seeing some positive signs from Joe. And again, he doesn't, even with just one singular win in a Group B night, it makes
134.
qualification more than plausible.
And one thing we know about Joe is that he does know how to recover after a bad start. Albeit
140.
not with the same sort of run-up this time.
$100.
That's a perfect dart. Should be 68 left. Absolutely brilliant.
140. Double car 111.
Slevin is forced to take this out to stop Hunt from beating him by 3.
91. Joey Carr 68.
Finally, Joe Hunt has got going here tonight.
28. Double car
Well,
20.
this match may well be continuing.
Getting shot on the fifth leg.
Slevin once again really on point on the outer ring.
Sixth leg Jody
And
through
we do
first.
continue.
Game on.
This is where Joe Hunt will be looking to serve the match out.
85.
There's a very famous English movie called Snatch. And a very famous actor plays a character called Turkish
59.
in that movie. And he refers to a character played by Brad Pitt.
140.
And he says, you won't know him, but he's mustard. And he might as well be talking about Dylan Slevin on double 10. Because that's
85.
exactly what he is on double 10. He's mustard.
Left-handers and double 10. Match made in heaven.
45.
So much so they should write a song about it. But please don't let Peter Beardsley voice it.
100.
Did you Google it during the previous break? You were giving your homework.
140.
Yeah, I was thinking Dave Chisnell, actually.
And then has another chance
97. Joey
to
Carr,
see
91.
this match through, see it out. 14s. Very nice.
75.
He could have won this match
Joey
twice
Carr,
already.
160.
And we're not going to go the distance courtesy of this visit.
95. Joey
Hunt is
Carr,
50%.
16.
This could be the performance of the night.
Getting show the match.
It is.
Joe Hunt.
And Joe Hunt finally gets his first win in Group B at the 4th time of asking. He's enjoyed a torrid time this evening. Nothing really got going until now. An average just shy of a level ton. A fantastic 106 checkout as well. That gives him a lot of hope going into tomorrow. One more live match left to bring you on the opening session of Group B here this evening. And it's a tussle between Dean Finn and Graham Hall. One of these two will round off their night with 2 wins from 4 and will be feeling relatively happy with their night's work. The other, probably a frustrating end to to a frustrating night. Both have had their moments. Both have showed glimpses of what they're all about, but have endured tough times as well. Finn has the darts. This match, as we know, being the final match of night one, will be the first of night two. So the old adage of real good chance to double up, get one over your opponent here to set you up for a repeat ensemble at the start of tomorrow evening.
45.
We've just seen the performance of the night from Joe Hunt. And his best performance, average-wise, by 10 points tonight.
81.
But miraculously, after we've almost finished 4 days of action and 5 sessions, there's only been one average over 100 this week. And that came from Graham Hall against Joe Croft on Monday. But a bit like last week, these players might be saving the best for last.
140.
Some of them will be hoping that's true because they're going to need it come Friday.
These two are certainly well versed
100.
in this format, in this environment. Both know what it takes to navigate their way through tricky groups, tricky scenarios, and to peak at the right moment as well, and that is on Saturday night.
Graham's had multiple success in this building. Weekly title, ADC Tour champion.
134.
He's played multiple Champions Weeks.
A lot of
people out there think that he's one of the best players at this level, and that if he were to win a series, it wouldn't be a shock.
I'd agree. It wouldn't be a surprise at all. Not happening for Finn. Hall, despite that slip into the big one with his final dive, his previous visit, still well placed
59.
to land an early blow here against the darts.
Getting shot the first set,
Finds
Graham
tops
Hall.
with ease and does get that early break.
So when Graham did through first, game on.
I'll make you a promise, Sam, before Saturday night. If Graham were to make Saturday night, we will find out how many hour time slots he's played in a week.
30.
As in between 9 and 10 in the morning, 10 and 11, 11 and 12. How many of the 24-hour time slots
59.
will he have played in a week if he's played Group A, Group B, and Saturday night? And it may prove just how difficult it is to play 6 days in a row here at the Modus Super Series. You know how you play on the Pro Tour? It's a 1 o'clock start. It's done by 7. And those players, people like
44.
Wessel Nyman, who's got 6 victories this year on the floor, you are conditioned for waking up at a certain time, having breakfast at a certain time, starting practice at a certain time, and in the case of Wessel Nyman, winning by a certain time. It's very different here. Because in 6 days, you've got 3 different shifts.
Yeah, of course, in the previous series when he won his week, he had the luxury of those 2 days off the back of winning Group A. The curse well and truly lifted.
95.
In fact, Group A winners went on a bit of a run in Series 13.
$60.
Coulson, Hall,
100.
Drayton, and young Nathan Potter as well. We haven't seen him yet this series.
$60.
All is well. Your lead is half a leg, Graham. somebody might in this series have to
60.
do
Gonna
something
become
similar to
40.
Dean Finn from 2 series ago, winning week 12 and going straight in the mix.
Getting shown the second leg, Graham Hall.
Graham Hall's not going to be that person. He's gunning for the week 8
Dean
title.
through first. Game on.
He's doing a very good job of having a 50% win ratio tonight, which is not the end of the world. How many Players'
42.
Championships do you think Wesselnam's going to win this year, by the way? He's got 6. It's only June.
I think that Euro Tour could well
100.
prove to be a real turning point, a monkey off his back, and that could just unleash the beast that is Vessel Nyman. But you would certainly
99.
think that he will add at least one more.
I had a really interesting conversation with Nyman when we were at a European tour earlier this
48.
year. I said to him, do you realise that you're making some of us look rather silly? And he said, what do you mean? I said, you've won more titles this year than most would win in their career. And he said, like who?
40.
I said, like me. And he said, well, that says more about you than me. It's a brilliant comeback.
43.
He is all business. It would appear as though Graham
46.
Hall is back in business after a solid start. Bit of a shaky middle, but he's certainly finishing well in the home straight of tonight.
85.
Well, somebody from his neck of the woods is having a very good season in Tom Bissell, the business. And people can be inspired by the people from their neck of the woods to go and do what they're doing and
60.
keep their form going. Now, Graham can find himself on a finish after these 3 darts.
90.
Well, that was a wonderful
Did
last start.
114.
Not only does it get him to a finish, it gets him to a makeable one.
Can Dean make the treble 18? No, and Dean's night promised so much
58. Graham Carr,
early doors with
135.
that win over Joe Hunt, but just simply hasn't been able to back it up. Treble 20. And now that magical red button in the middle of the
110.
board really did
Did
threaten it.
56.
He most certainly did. As Dean Finn was doing an Irish jig in the background. He's not low on tops this time. He's going to have to dig deep for the next 10 minutes. He's not playing very well here,
Game on.
but he's clinging on. 3 legs completed, and the average disparity is over 20 points.
85.
Big moment that. If that didn't go, then Hall really would run away with things. There you see an absolute chasm between the two in the averages.
60.
Yet the deficit is just one single leg for Finn. He's not out of it, but he has to
100.
step things up.
You know this view that we have of the player
44.
throwing and the dartboard on the left-hand side? It's called our split shot. If you ever get the chance to speak to someone about that camera shot, please do. It wasn't always the case that we had it. If you look at the early coverage of darts in the 1970s and 80s, they didn't have that.
140. Graham Carr,
It was
136.
invented for this sport. Don't take for granted what we tend to
42.
take for granted. Well, isn't it funny how that shot is still as important now as it was 45 years ago?
57.
It has not
Gurmikar,
changed.
94.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Graham Hall
Getting on the
needs no
fourth leg,
fixing.
Graham Hall.
Things are going very well now
Fifth leg team to
for the
first.
G-Man.
Game on.
Looking to bookend his night with wins. A leg away from doing so.
Yeah, he's done a very good job here. This is a good performance from Graham.
97.
Known as G-Man.
The G-Man looking to rejoin the Duffman in Champions Week.
95.
You know for a fact that Neil is going to keep coming back until he's got that series title.
81.
But it doesn't get any easier.
Well, if you think back, there was a moment on that Saturday night, Champions Night, where we thought it was going to be his night.
140.
But it wasn't. But there was a time, wasn't there, where he couldn't even get a weekly win.
42.
He was known as a Super Series bridesmaid, and then all of a sudden, something clicked, and he hasn't stopped winning since. So imagine if Duffman were to win Series 14.
96.
You can conceive, based on previous behaviours, that he might even win 3 or 4 series by the end of next year. Because with Neil, it's about habit.
100.
That, of course, is
Gurmikar,
for the end
170.
of July. Champions Week really shaping up nicely.
91.
It's not the end of the world, that one. In fact, getting the 11 instead of the 8 means that 2 singles leaves a double. If he hits the 8, he's on 82 and he's got no guarantee of a shot at the outer ring. Whereas here,
105.
it's not really a
Gurmikar,
guarantee, but it's a lot
79.
easier to get it.
Just double checking. Double 11. We saw a couple of double 11s in Group C, but
71.
we're not going to
Gurmikar,
see one
76.
there, and that has just afforded Dean Finn just a slim chance of keeping things interesting.
Bull?
51.
Things
Gurmikar,
might
8.
get less than interesting now. As Hall goes for a 6-leg swing.
Has to go.
Getting shot in
It
the
was
match,
always
Graham Hall.
going to after that marker. And Graham Hall does indeed bookend his night with wins. This one at the expense of Dean Finn, who promised so much in the early stage of the night, but dissipated into a night which just resulted in one singular win for himself. No one is out of contention in this group, but Graham Hall finishes impressively. We'll be rounding off the night's proceedings after this break. Night one of Group B has been completed then. Graham Hall rounding off the live action tonight with a 4-1 win over Dean Finn. Joe Hunt's 4-2 success over Dylan Slevin we will come on to talk about, because that could well prove to be significant and mightily important for Joe Hunt. That was his first win of the night after promising so much, and considering if he had not have got that win, he'd have been bottom of the table on 0 points, and Dylan Slevin would have ran through the card and probably would have come back tomorrow only needing one. But as you can see there, the table is quite compact now and no one is out of contention. Don't forget, the top 3 out of those 5 qualify for finals night. Welcome back to the studio then. Nico, we were just discussing during that break just how significant that win was for Joe Hunt. Nothing was going his way. You mentioned in comms that going into this match, the numbers that Joe and Dylan had been putting in thus far were fairly similar.
Yeah, they were. A couple of high 80s averages and one towards the lower end of the 80s. But the timing of the doubling for Dylan over the course of the first 3 games that he played, it was exemplary. And he was able to have around about 50% on doubles for the night. But I don't believe he was the best player tonight on a consistent basis. But interestingly, the game where he was just a bit off the pace was where Joe Hunt finally found his feet. And we could be here in around about 44 hours' time talking about that game as the most crucial one, because if he gets off the mark in that shot when he's thoroughly in front and he runs rampant with the confidence that he's built up in the first 2 or 3 legs, it might change his entire week, because we've seen what happens when he gets a foothold. He's done it here, he's done it on the Challenge Tour. Bad start, it affected him for a while, but then he figured it out by the end of the night.
Caught us all by surprise, off guard, and we were both a bit shocked, really, just how Joe's night was going. And yeah, that win, it was the best performance we saw all night.
Yeah, weird, isn't it? Because we know the levels that Joe could attain. We've seen the numbers from the Pro Tour. We've seen some of the stuff he's done in this building, but the body language, especially in his second game of the night, it was one of, hang on, this is not going very well. What have I got to do to turn things around? Well, obviously something happened between his 3rd game and his 4th game. He may have looked in the mirror and said, you know what, let's go out there and just try and bash it. Let's have a bit more of a relaxed attitude. That's how it looked to us. If he gets through, maybe we can ask him.
He wouldn't have really wanted the night to end. He was just getting into stride. The difference away from that match between those two, Dylan's timing, his doubling, really on point.
Yes, that was it. The scoring was okay, but he was given too many opportunities in certain legs. And all around the board, his double 10 shooting was right on point.
Yeah.
So when you're hovering around 50% and you've won a lot of legs in the night, I do believe he's won 13 legs tonight. That's really good. That is a really good effort. 50% on doubles, it's always something you would take.
Sam Spivey, following an early setback, really impressed in the middle of the session, didn't he? It looked like he was just starting to run away with things along with Slevin, but again, reeled back in.
When this format was put together and we started playing in our previous studio and then we transcribed it and brought it to Portsmouth, we came up with a phrase. It was, lose tight, win big. Now, this performance from Spivey tonight, it epitomizes that, because the wins he had, they were big wins. He had a couple of 4-0s in there, but the one loss he had was by 4 legs to 3. That's why he's top. He had some really good stuff towards the end of the night, and similarly to Joe Hunt, he didn't really want the night to end because he was starting to play his best in round number 4. So he's done a really good job tonight of re-establishing what he's capable of in this format.
A leg away from running through the card, but again, being reeled in by the chasing pack, no one out of contention. Spivey, though, defying all laws of physics. I've never quite seen such a odd deflection that stuck in quite like it. I think we can look at it again now. I mean, have you ever seen anything such as, I mean, just moments from Spivey?
I have seen some very odd darts in my time. I've seen some really creative stuff as well, but I don't know what it is about Yorkshire dart players. I've seen more crazy bounce outs from James Wilson than any other player. Seen a couple of really weird ones from Daryl Gurney. But when earlier in the night we saw a dart go in the board, come out and go back in, I don't have an answer to that because I'm not that educated when it comes to physics. I don't know how that is possible. So maybe we need to call someone.
Yeah, hitting doubles from impossible angles as well, but we can see what we were referring to. I mean, it's just incredible, hitting it, twirling it, and then getting the contact to register a score as well.
Let's put it this way. Tom Daly wouldn't get as many style points as that dart on a dive. That was quite something. If we get a better, more decorative dart than that this week, sign me up. I want to see it.
Graham Hall, good at the start, good at the end, bit iffy in between. How do you think he will assess his opening night in Group B?
That's a really difficult question because I don't think Graham has played anywhere near his best tonight. I think he'd be very pleased with his last performance. Finishing the night with a win to make sure that he's got a win ratio of 50%, so 2 wins out of 4. That's not bad. It puts him in the middle of the melting pot, but as far as Graham's standards, he will want more from himself on a consistent basis. Too many times, particularly early, we saw him throwing a third dart at the board because he knows that he can't go out and his opponent is probably going to go out. Maybe his little bit of temper flaring over, but that's because he's not angry. He's frustrated with how he's performed. And that is something that can't really show up on Friday night, otherwise he could get burned.
I think the key thing you said there was, hasn't really played his best. I think you say that for everyone, including Ding Finn, who started his night with a real positive flourish, but just couldn't back it up, couldn't really kick on and get going after that.
No, it felt like when he was going into round 4 that he'd hit the wall already. He was only playing his 4th game of the week. So maybe Friday night is going to suit him a bit better when he's got 2 of the first 3 games so he can get off to that hot start. He's going to have to, isn't he? Because he's in Joe Hunt's position come Friday night, having 2 of the first 3 games. And if he loses those 2 matches, he's not going to get through this group. But knowing what he knows, get here for about 7:30 come Friday night, make sure you're ready and get off to that good start again and put the pressure on the others.
So I guess in that we're in agreement that no one has really played their best. So going into tomorrow, it's who that can up their levels that are going to be the ones to progress.
Some players that we talk about here, they're better when the pressure's on. They're challenged to our players who succeed, like Joe Hunt, like Graham Hall, and others, and they play better when the urgency is there. This place is great for second chances. You go from Group A, you don't succeed, you go to Group B or Group C. Second chance city. When you come to Group B, if you don't particularly play well on Thursday night, you've got the second chance of fixing it on Friday. Come Friday, you turn up because you think, if I don't play well tonight, I'm not going to make Saturday. That urgency is why we'll get better darts.
Nico, thank you very much for your company today. Same again tomorrow. Still plenty more to come, though, as always, on the Modus Super Series channel here on Pluto TV. Coming up next, we are going to be pranking dart players, and make sure you stay tuned for some mischief. Do not miss that. We are back live tomorrow afternoon for the conclusion of Group C. Oliver King running through the card this afternoon. Alex Small currently in a qualification place as well. 10 o'clock, your start time for the second session of Group B as well. 7:30 for finals night here on Saturday. Tickets are still available if you can join us here in Portsmouth. And the champ returns Monday morning, 9:30, to begin his title defence. Thank you very much for watching and joining us here this evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
The new Modus Super Series champion. It's another incredible moment tonight. Jeff Smith. It's match down. 5-star performance. Ball for big fish. It's double.